Hello, my name is Cedric Hood. I'm the owner of Pull No Punches Productions. This video is not intended for children. Please like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload new content. In this video, I will be reviewing the complete Sin City comic series overall. But before I start, please enjoy these snippets of the beautiful art. Thank you. Okay, that was amazing. Don't mind my Puck action figure. That was a Father's Day present to me. Oh, and happy Father's Day to everybody. So basically, this Sin City review, I titled it "A Niche for Noir." I think it's niche, so let me say it correctly: niche for noir. Frank Miller created the series. He's both the writer and artist. Sin City is a masterclass in noir and as a black and white comic book. Since he's the writer and artist, he has a singular solid direction from a storytelling standpoint. Miller's dialogue in the comic, in my opinion, it's on par with the likes of Elmore Leonard and David Mamet. And if you don't know those two writers, you need to Google them, please. Basically, there are 6 volumes, 6 solid volumes in the Sin City series, and there are a lot of one-shots, they take place here, there, whenever. The 6 volumes, I'll give a synopsis for all 6, but I'm not going to really, spoil anything. I'm going to tell some things that happen, like for like the plot and the characters and who they are, but I'm not going to really say that much. So the 6 volumes are A Dame to Kill For, Helen Back, Family Values, The Yellow Bastard, The Hard Goodbye, and The Big Fat Kill. Correction. I was going to talk about all of them, but right now, I read most of these books. I gave it a go around. The only one I didn't reread was Family Values, because I don't know where I can't find that. My book, my version of the book, I can't find it. My copy of the book, I meant. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about every other book except the Family Values volume. So, majority of the books are about morally gray nobodies discovering larger-than-life conspiracies that are almost beyond the protagonist's capabilities or class in the hierarchy of society. And I like it because it's like you think most of the time each character, they're against impossible odds, but they either outsmart themselves, they outsmart their way out of the situation, or they just use violence. And these books, they're basically neo-noir books. Now, the first question is, what is noir? Now, when you look up the definition of noir, it's a genre of crime fiction or film characterized by cynicism, fatalism, and moral ambiguity. So, neo-noir basically is noir after the classic period of the said genre. Basically, the 1940s and 50s. That was the classic period. Anything after is known as neo-noir. So, the first noir film, it's regarded as the first noir film, is the Maltese Falcon, which was made in 1941. So, if you watch that film, you kind of get like the quintessential definition and understanding of what noir is. Back to the book. It's the type of reading that would be a great initiation into the dark medium of storytelling in comic books back in the 90s. Now we've been so desensitized from, ultra violent books like one I recommended in a previous video, like Luther Strode, or books like Wanted, or 100 Bullets. Those books are extremely violent. So if you read this now for the first time, it may not be your cup of tea, and it may not seem as violent as what you've already read. But it's still a good book. My interpretation of Sin City, it's basically, if Florida is where the old go to die peacefully, Sin City is where you go to die when all the goodness in your soul is gone. So Sin City is a place you go to die if you really have nothing left to live for in life, Or if you're a serial killer and you're wanting to get your fix, this is the city you go, where basically the margin for detective solving cases is extremely low. That's basically my interpretation of what this city is to me. Frank Miller's dialogue is wordy, but it's very sympathetic when it needs to be, and it's romantic in the grittiness of this crime world. The characters' morals in the book are unquestionably gray, which makes them more realistic and compelling, which translates well, in their likability. If they're more human, they make mistakes. They're not the Captain America type character or Superman character where they know exactly what to do and what's right, what's wrong. It's not that simple. It's not so cut and dry. There are times where the action of the violence, it's hyper realized, like something you would see in John Wick films. Like, nothing too bizarre or strange happens. Like, there are no superheroes or inhuman monsters or aliens. The only monsters are the humankind in this book, and and it's from their depravity and, like I said before, ultra violent nature. There are, and I'm going to preface this, there are times where characters do almost superhuman things. And what I mean like that are like they'll graze bullets off like mosquito bites, or they'll leap off of buildings as high as like 5 or 6 stories. In real life that's not going to happen, but it makes the book more entertaining. Sin City to me is purgatory for the dirtiest of the underworld. There are a few innocent lost souls, I will call them lost souls, in Sin City, but they change, things happen. Even the purest person in the world, if they're in a dirty, depraved city, it will change them, and it will turn them for the worse. That's what I feel. The first book that I'm going to give a little small synopsis about is A Dame to Kill For. Now, if you saw the second film, this is what the main story is about. So you have a character named Dwight. He has an old love come back into his life. And the man knows this woman is nothing but trouble, but he decides to help her. And in doing so, because of his good nature, he gets punished for it. And a lot of terrible things happen. So that's all I'm going to say for this book, and I'm going to move on to the second book. Give me one sec. The second book I'll be talking about is The Hard Goodbye, and this stars a character named Marv, who, to me, he's a mix of Conan and Rambo from the Rambo film franchise, if you guys know. Like, you know, he's a war veteran, but he's a hulking beast of a man. He's not that smart, but at times in a book, he does deduce a lot of things happening, and you start to realize he doesn't give himself as much credit as he deserves, because he does figure out a lot of things that the average idiot wouldn't. Basically, he meets a girl one night, he sleeps with her, and he wakes up, and she doesn't. And then to make matters worse, he doesn't know how she died, but the cops are hot on his trail. They think he murdered her. So now he has to find a way to get revenge for the woman that he had sex with and clear his name. Now, that's all I'm going to say about the book. If you saw the movie, then you know the gist of it, but I'm not going to spoil it for anybody else. The third book is The Yellow Bastard. It's a great book. This was also in the first film. It's about a detective who wants to do the right thing, but in doing so, he basically loses his freedom. I'm not going to get into detail on how that happens, but it revolves around a little girl that he wants to protect from a sick, sadistic rapist. And how things happen in doing a good deed, he gets punished for it and he gets put in prison. I'm not going to tell you why or for what reason, but this book highlights how bad the criminal justice system is in Sin City. And I'm going to move on to the next book. The fourth book is called The Big Fat Kill, and how this story is, it's basically Dwight again, the same character from A Dame to Kill For, and he has a new girlfriend and he's having fun, but then there's trouble when her ex-boyfriend, I think, it could be her ex-boyfriend or her current boyfriend, knocks on her door while he's in there, and just a whole lot of hell. This story reaches a lot. It just goes places you would never expect. It's one of the highlights of the Sin City series. It's my third favorite. My second favorite is The Hard Goodbye, and I'm about to show you my top favorite Sin City story. And the two Sin City films never took from the story, and it's a shame they never what's the word? They never filmed it, but it's still where it should be. It's a comic book, and nothing can beat the actual comic book version. So let me show you the fifth and last book. This is the fifth book. It's called Helen Back, and this is my favorite. And the reason being is it's basically about an ex-Navy SEAL who he's an artist and a short order cook by day, and he's driving one day, and he comes across a beautiful woman, who jumps off a mountain into the water. And it's a 9-issue story. It's the longest of the series, and it's so good because to me, this is Frank Miller's homage to a great noir film called Kiss Me Deadly. And if you saw Kiss Me Deadly, I think you'll love Sin City's Helen Back. I'm not going to say that much of what it's about, but again, it's like how all the other stories, things unravel, and it's bigger than what they expected, and there's a huge conspiracy, and like it's a great, great book. So how should I start this? This book is basically, it's Frank Miller at his best. You know, he gets to draw what he loves, which is basically, it's three main things. It's deliciously sexy automobiles, it's over exaggerated masculinity, and it's busty beautiful babes. That's basically it. And he does a grand job at it. The series is a masterclass in black and white comic books. The shading, the shadows are near perfect. It would almost be a crime to color these pages. Well, there are times where key points and only key points of interest are colored, like, you know, certain people's shoes, clothes, lipstick, but it's highlighted for a reason. It's to enhance the focus of the storytelling. Everything is in service to the story. Always remember that. It's funny because noir is the French word for black. And when you look up the definition of black, it is the darkest color owing to the absence of or complete absorption of light, which entails what this book is. The absence of light from a standpoint of being morally good. This book is black. It's very gray, and from the aspect of good, bad, because if you were in these situations that these characters were in, you wouldn't exactly know exactly what to do, you know, just off the top of your head, especially when you're in an emergency or you're hurt or you see a dead body in front of you. And I love it that way. So please like, subscribe, and don't forget to press the notification bell so you'll be notified when I post new videos. And have a great day. Thank you.